Welcome back to Boddy Creek Manor 2024. We have all new occupants this year. Why don't you go on in, take a look around, stay for a spell, and if they let you live, I'll be back a little bit later to tell you more about it.
In the shadows I dwell, where magic weaves spell. In the darkest of night, I gain more power from all the fight. Now if I can just this spell right, I can reverse this cursed light.
hello! You don't happen to have some candy for a sweet little old lady, do you? Give it to me! You're too quick for me, but I'll get it next time!
Congratulations on surviving Boddy Creek Manor 2024. Obviously this year we have done witches and spiders. I'm not sure if you picked up on the storyline. It primarily takes place here in the living room, which we'll tell you all about in just a moment. But really, I guess we should start at the beginning. Let's go ahead and head over to the front door. So every year I do like to change the display inside and out. And I've never really done a display that was fully one theme before, so I really took it, I think, to the next level with the witches. Here in the entryway is usually where I like to give just kind of a thematic start to the display to show you a little bit about what you're going to see. But since it's all witches this year and spiders, that's what you're going to see as you walk in. The first thing that you'll notice right here is my new wreath from Spirit. It's got the phases of the moon that kind of introduces the witch theme, and as your eyes, of course, come down, you see the "Come in, my pretties" sign. I like how the hand is kind of creepily coming out of the drawer. If you look closely, there is a big spider web in there. There's some spiders here along the railing as well. We've got one dangling down, and I can tell you I've walked into this thing a couple of times, scared myself from the chandelier. Now, I have actually changed all the lights, most of the lights, throughout the area to black lights. That's why it was a little hard to film in here. Aside from being so tight, hard to see, it is very low lighting, but it does make the frames particularly glow, like the one behind the door. This is the first of my 3 witch portraits that I introduced this year. It was kind of a happy accident. I was actually starting to go with a glamorous witch theme, and I had some really interesting banners of witches that did not turn out very well. I bought them from a foreign country, and when they came in I was very disappointed in them, but you'll still see them a little bit later. So I had to find something else to put here, and I found a couple more of these door covers or window covers from Amazon, and I just built the glow-in-the-dark frames for them, and we're going to see them again throughout the whole display. If this lady's not scary enough, you're certainly going to get scared by the jumping spider here on the floor. Obviously, this is the Spirit jumping spider that's been around for years. I've only had him in my display once, many years ago, but he's certainly very effective. Anything that just lurches out at you like that is terrifying. So I really love my spider, and I think spiders in general, very creepy. That's why we're going to see them all throughout, everywhere, even in little motifs like my candelabra here. It's got a little spider on it as well. Because this is the entryway, here you can see the witch has come in, taken off her hat, her shoes, her broom, and is ready to go relax in the living room. You've got to be paying really close attention, but this is where the story really takes shape here on the coffee table. We have our Home Depot marionette witch out this year, and she, if you listen to her phrases, talks about how she has accidentally turned herself into this marionette, and she's trying to find a way to turn herself back into a regular witch. And she does so using voodoo spells. So you can see behind me, I have all of my voodoo skulls that, again, glow under the black light. I love those. We actually built those for our Day of the Dead theme a few years ago. I'm excited to bring them back. I think they look great on the shelf. But she's got some skulls in her cauldron. She's trying to boil them, come up with a spell. And to help her, if you saw on the TV, she's actually watching a cauldron show, basically. And if you pay attention long enough, you'll see them throwing different things in there. So she's getting her inspiration basically from daytime talk show spellcasting 101. But she has made some sort of error. She has spilled this potion onto this spider book, and that has caused a spider spell to be cast and is what is causing a spider invasion throughout the room, which we'll take a look at now. The mother spider is coming out of the fireplace. I got this guy from Costco so many years ago. I love using it because it is so creepy, especially when it's coming out of some dark, creepy area like the inside of a fireplace. But that's not our only spider. We have them going all the way up the fireplace. We've got little ones on the hearth. Speaking of the mantle here, now I originally was going to go with a raven theme, so I started decorating the mantle with ravens, but I think it works still. They're all clustered here now, trying to escape all of our spiders. But as we move our way up, you'll see as well another one of the door covers that I bought. This was not the same as the one by the front door, not that same group, but this was from the original vendor that I bought, and I actually kind of like it. It works. It's still a little bit dark, but we've got the spiders to highlight it. She's just super creepy. The three witches, which was originally going to be my theme, the three sisters, all beautiful and evil. Speaking of beautiful witches, we have my diamond painting artwork that I worked on this year. Did a couple videos on that. I really enjoyed doing the diamond painting. Helped me with a lot of stress throughout the year. It was just kind of a fun project to get us through to Halloween. But this is where I kind of came up with that concept of the beautiful witches. And as you can see, there are 4 in these pictures as opposed to the 3 in the fireplace, because there was, in my original concept, going to be kind of a mystery as to what happened to that 4th witch. But as that was abandoned to the more gruesome theme with the spiders, we just moved on. And speaking of moving on, this is one of my favorite pieces over here. This is the butler that I've had in several of my displays to this point, but this time he has been attacked by the spider. I love how it's attacking his face, kind of like one of those face huggers from the Alien movies. I think it's just really creepy. Over here, we have the introduction of the cats. So we do have a few cats throughout this the display, starting with the skeleton that we saw outside. Of course, we've got the nice picture, little light up cat over here next to some books of spells, but we'll see some more cats in the kitchen. On the other side of the fireplace over here, you can see our flying witch that we got this year from CVS. Really like the way she looks. She's kind of floating over the living room, trying to escape the spider invasion. And what's really great is you can see out, or see in through the living room windows. So if you're coming down the driveway and we're looking inside the house, you see her floating up here on the balcony. Coming down the stairs, we have our other little butler. This was one of my very first sort of figures that I bought probably 10, 12 years ago before I could afford the full-size animatronic, so he holds a special place in my heart and makes his way into my displays most years. Today he is holding a sign that says, "If you are reading this, then you are blissfully unaware of what is creeping up behind you," which could be this creepy witch behind me. It's the second of our portraits that we made this year. The third one is right over there. I had to show you her one more time before we leave the living room. I just think she's really scary. Those eyes are very demonic. She is holding a lantern like the ladies above the fireplace. Kind of ties it all together. But let's go ahead and head on into the bathroom. So we even have a witch in the bathroom. This is my psychic themed bathroom, and I absolutely love this scare, which I developed last year. I thought it was so effective that I brought it back. We have the figure coming out the door. So if we're having people from the party that need to use the restroom and they come in here, the first thing that they see when they walk through the door is this creepy lady staring out at them. And then of course, sitting here doing your business, got this lady right here. I think it's just a fun, creepy scare. I absolutely love it. But as I said, this is the psychic bathroom. Behind the door here, there is a sign that says psychics, tarot readings this way. It happens to point in that direction toward our witch, which I absolutely love. We also have some mystic themed artwork. We've got a spell book, hand towels with the moon and the sun, and then of course over here we have the most important sign in the display. Please do not summon demons in the bathroom. Spirits in mirror are not as charming as they appear. And of course someone has done that, and there is the spirit coming through the mirror. Maybe they did so using the spells they learned here in the hallway. Normally I have different artwork here, and one thing I do every year is just switch out the art inside the frames. It's so easy. These are just printables that I found online. Blew them up just a little bit, cut them out, fit them in the frames. I think it was a great addition to the display. As we leave the hallway, we're going to pass the basement stairs, and you never know what's creeping up the basement stairs. Today, it's another witch. Behind her, she's flanked by these original banners I wanted to use as inspiration for my witch displays, but as you can see, they're so dark you can't see them, but they kind of work in the creepy basement area. We also have a silhouette of a cat, kind of goes with the silhouetted witches now. These are cutouts I did from, I think, the Martha Stewart magazine, again, like 10 years ago. Just keep bringing things back, but I really love them, and if you paid close attention, I think you may have seen a few more of them around the house. Here in the dining room is where we're going to have our party drinks, so we'll have them all set up here in front of this glowing cauldron that we got from Target this year. Originally, we had intended to put it in a couple of different places throughout the display. Ended up here. I think this is a great place for people to congregate to get drinks. We've got the other cauldrons that are dispensers that will have some cocktails. Inside the cauldron here is actually not going to be this candy. It'll have some other drinks in it as well. And of course we have our witch looking over her bubbling cauldron of goodness that she's enjoying, complete with a toad, her little toad on the side of the cauldron. I think that makes it just sort of pop. Originally, if you watched my cauldron review videos, we were planning to put the skeleton spider there. But, you know, I think the toad works a little bit better. Speaking of working better, we have my witch herself. So this is the rocking chair witch I got from Home Depot many years ago. I think she was the first version, maybe the second, I'm not sure anymore. They reissued her a few times as witches, and then even as like a rocking chair fisherman. But in any case, children love her. They used her when I had her in the display so much, she stopped working, and I was very disappointed. But today, she has miraculously come back to life. I don't know what, she was a little rough at the beginning, but she seems to have worked that out. Now she's rocking and talking, and I absolutely love her. We have another cat silhouette here in the corner, next to the buffet, under the frame TV, with another black cat. Very fitting for our witches. We also have our apples with a skeleton hand popping out with this poison apple, very reminiscent of, what was that, Sleeping Beauty and that poison apple that you see. Love that effect. The cats are, of course, scaring off all of the rats, just like that nursery rhyme, hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. That's where I was going with this. Of course, there are spiders. There's even a spider inside the clock. But we have our large evil rat up at the top, and even at the bottom, we have a collection of scary little mice. Here in the kitchen, we have the last of our witches. She is a lunging witch, animatronic. Unfortunately, she too has stopped working, so we no longer get that lunging effect, but she does still talk, and I think if you don't pay too close attention to what she's saying, it still kind of works. But she's here overseeing the kitchen. She's making her spider martinis as the spiders are invading the entire space. The decor in the kitchen harkens back to the elegant witches I was originally going with. We've got a lot of the black and the purple color scheme. The sparkliness kind of mimics the diamond paintings going up the stairs. We've got the candelabras. And I think it still works because we do have to keep this as a working kitchen until Halloween. We do kind of need to keep it clear. So this is a nice minimal effect that I think works still. We, of course, have another frame TV here with the black cat that's a little bit more angry and aggressive, showing those really sharp teeth. But the secret here in the kitchen, not only is my witch here making her delicious cocktails, but something in the oven as well. It's a little hard to see, you have to pay close attention, but if we open it up, you can tell we are cooking another witch. For seasoning, maybe she's going to pick one of these poisonous concoctions in the cabinet in the niche here, leading out to the party area. So for Halloween, we do have the neighborhood Halloween party, and it takes place outside in the garage in the driveway. People are gonna have to pass through here to get to the adult alcoholic beverages, enjoying our kitchen scene. But first, we've got one scare for them. It doesn't quite tie into the witch theme, but I like it. Let's see what's going on in the stairway vestibule. This is another door cover that I saw on a shop on Facebook, and I had to buy it. I think it turned out really great, just framed it in more glow-in-the-dark molding, and it sets the scene for the stairway below. Here we have our demonic murder scene. We've got our childlike demons. As you can see, they've got these creepy little demon hands, and it's Halloween, of course, so they are shielding themselves under sheets to look like ghosts, and they have bumped off this poor man at the top of the stairs using the candlestick that you see lying here on the stairs, because I have to bring in my clue weapons into every Halloween display. And there you have it, Boddy Creek Manor 2024. As I alluded to, we are going to have a Halloween party, so we've got a whole display outside as well that I'm going to be sharing with you in another couple of weeks, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Till next time, take care, and happy haunting.